A warm welcome back to RASSVET for episode 7 with me, MrSealyp. It's 11:37 in the morning and the cultivating is done over on field 6. Cultivator is back over here. I bought the lime spreader over and unloaded the lime just over there. The great thing with this lime spreader is it will do lime and fertiliser. So all I've got to do now is find somewhere locally where I can buy cheap fertiliser. Now I do have the fertiliser sprayer as well for doing liquid, but I think because I can do both like I did on, I mean at the end of the day I'm using the same piece of machinery I was using on 6 ashes, so why not? That might just get sold off. Now what I'm going to be doing now, I'm going to clean up the yard area. We're going to do a bit of clean-up work, which will involve a little bit of landscaping, a little bit of spot landscaping. We're going to get the weed whacker out, chainsaw, that kind of stuff, do a little bit. I'm not going to cut any of the trees down, but what I'm going to do is remove some of the hedges and bushes. How will you do that, you may well ask? Well, it's really just using the spot landscaping tool on a grass texture. And all you do is just put a tiny spot grass texture over the bush, and it should vanish. So we should be able to tidy up a load of these grass areas. Then we need to get a seeder. I've decided, now there's a couple of options here. One, people are going to hate and be really angry. So I think I might use that on Eureka because they're already angry about that. So that's all good. Is under seeders, I have got one I'm going to use, and I'm going to get the Mazur. Mazur 6 1100. I'm going to get that 21,000 to buy 2,200 litre capacity. It does your regular crop types. I won't be able to do sunflower, which I was going to put back in. I was going to do sunflower only because I was curious to see with everything done in it, all the precision farming, will I get much more off that field, which I'm still kind of almost considering. But we do have these available. Now, we already have what they're called broadcast seeders. A broadcast seeder, generally speaking, you can get push along ones for your garden and stuff like that. They generally do grass seed. Generally for farming practices, you wouldn't use them on a larger scale because it just broadcasts the seed out. It doesn't put it in neat rows and that kind of thing. It will just broadcast it. That's why it's generally used for grass seeding. But these two that have come out, or in a pack, goes out to about 36 meters. That's a brilliant idea. But I think for the sake of keeping it kind of normal, which is what I want to be doing, I'm going to buy that, the Mazur. It's a 6 meter. I can tow from one end, so we'll buy that. And I've also taken a fertilizing contract. I think it was. Was it fertilizing contract I took on? I'm sure it was. Where are we? Yeah, fertilizing on field 3 pays out 14, just under 14 and a half. We've got. I'm not doing that harvest contract. That field is huge. Yeah, fertilizer on field 2 as well pays out quite well. So I'm going to use, that's why I emptied out the lime spreader. I'm going to get some fertilizer. I'm going to see if this tractor will pull it. I don't know if it will. Might not have enough horsepower. We'll give it a go. Then we'll go and grab the seeder. We'll get the seeding done. But like I say, first of all, I want to tackle some of this. So I'm just going to show you what I mean. It's kind of obvious, but just in case, because I know people will wonder if I just suddenly say, "Oh, look what I've done," and all of a sudden it's all change. So if I do L3 ground types, if I go across until I get to the grass one, which should be that, I don't think it's a flat texture on this, that's as small as that goes, and there we go. So you just kind of, you can simulate off camera just going around with a weed whacker and a little saw, and you just take out any of the bits you don't want. Yes, it charges you for them, but it does mean you can tidy some of the yards up. Yeah, you can't kind of, it would be nice to go along with one of the bat wings and, be able to kind of do that. So I'm just going to go around the yard, do a bit of tidying here and there. It's going to cost me a little bit of money, but nothing too horrendous, hopefully. There are still some piles of rubbish and things you can't get rid of. Unfortunately, that's the nature of the beast on some maps. But it will just give me the opportunity to tidy up. So I'm going to do that first, then I'm going to get the fertilizer sorted. Now, like I said, some of you have already noticed the silos I've got knocking about for buying seed and fertilizer. My argument to that is I could use pallets. Of course I could. Again, why would I, I'm going to use the cheapest option available. And yes, I've used them on a lot of my Let's Plays because they're a cheap option. If they weren't available, I'd be using something else. But I don't see the point in going and spending more money than I need to when I've got the ability to spend less. It just kind of makes sense. So yeah, the CNS modding and Marie one I'm going to be using. I think I might leave some of the flowers. It might just be the kind of bushes and stuff. I just want to tidy it up a little bit. There we go. Just to make it a little bit neater across as we look across the yard. So, see you in a minute when that's done. Let's go and grab some fertiliser, get the fertilising contract underway, go and grab the seeder. I'll get the seeding done. I really am tempted to use those broadcast seeders, but I know they're not realistic. You know, in theory, yes, there's no reason why they shouldn't work, but because they don't technically seed in rows, they do just fling the stuff out everywhere. I know it's not technically realistic, but it's all good. Most of the larger bushes have now been removed. I was really hoping I was going to find something like a barn find in amongst the bushes. We kind of did. We found that. Not quite what I was hoping for. But yeah, so most of the larger stuff's gone, which is where we wanted to be at. The harvester needs to go into the workshop and have a bit of work done because we did use that quite a lot. The other thing I don't own is a jet wash. We'll have to do that at some point. I have hooked up the small tractor. Not sure how that's going to work. Now, really, this should be sprayed out. Like I said, I don't have a jet wash. I'm going to be putting solid fertiliser in it. I honestly don't know how hilly I mean, field 3 is actually just up here, but here's the funny thing, a typical MrSealyp moment. I can't remember where the seed things are. I know there are two. There are 2 seed points around the map that I have noticed on my travels. Let's put it that way. I can't remember where I put them. I think there's one over this way. Where the second one is, no idea. So I'm sure we'll come across that at some point. I'll grab the fertiliser, get that going. What else? Oh yeah, finances. Every time I was removing a bush, I think it was it €4 it was taken off me? Something like that. Now, the investment that I was going to get from Feldcorp, that I showed the picture, the letter that came the other day, I said in the video, yes, that'd be great, and I replied back to Feldin to say that would be marvellous. So he said he was going to speak to Dave, his accountant, and get it approved and get the finances sorted, and this is what I received back. A wire transfer receipt. So we should be receiving 45,011. Thank you for making that easy for me, Feldin. So yeah, that should be coming at some point soon. So our money will go back up a little bit. Then there's a few fertilising contracts available. If this setup works alright and this tractor's able to pull it, I think I'll just crack on with that and do a few things like that. I can do no problem at all. Then I do want to look longer term. We'll look at a Bizon. Like I said, first harvest on that new field. We have done the liming. We are going to be putting the seed down. Once the seed's down, we're going to look at them fertilising, because then we can get our nitrogen level where it needs to be. It was around here somewhere I put it, didn't I? There it is. Oh, I can see it now. Yeah, the locals are very good at providing seed and fertiliser and stuff for, you know, the community. So they have these community silos available. Hope this is going to work. Hopefully this will pull it. If it doesn't, we'll just switch over to the other one. Well, that's interesting. Why is that not working? Oh, something I have noticed. If you look on the help menu, it says there, L3 refill type description. Now I hadn't noticed that until now. That normally only appears when you go up to something. It will say start filling. If I press L3 now, it then says stop refilling, but I'm not refilling anything from anywhere. So I'm now... Oh no, tell me that's going to work. Right, I'll go and see if I can find the other one. I will... see you in a minute. Where did I put the other one? Well, I'll be honest, I'm completely baffled. I went to the second location, I remembered where it was. It was out near the building site. Apparently they're empty. I really hope this next one's going to work, because what I've had to do is buy some pallets. That's not going to be cheap. The beauty of using those things is the fact that the fertiliser is really cheap. This is not. So what it's cost me, if I use it all, I'm not going to make the money back. Oh, those rollers, I bought those, didn't I? I'm not going to use them. I don't think I'm going to. Wow, that seeder seems way wider than 6 metres. That looks huge. Yeah, I was going to try that, but I'm not going to now. I really hope this fills up from this, otherwise I'm in real trouble here. I don't understand what's going on. When I was refilling before, this does fertiliser and... What is happening? Oh, please tell me I haven't got a bug. Fertiliser and lime. Why can I not refill from anything? It's not letting me refill anything. What? Please tell me this is not a precision farming problem. That's apparently had an update today as well. Nope, can't get that to refill. It says it's refilling. Stop refilling. Nope. It's all a good activating, deactivating application rate. If I can't fill it up, that's not doing me any good at all anyway, is it? Okay, well, I know what to do now. Does that mean I won't be able to fill my seeder either? Stop refilling. I'm on foot. I'm not refilling anything. Huh? What was happening? I don't understand this at all. No. Oh, okay. It was as simple as needing to get out of the vehicle. I've never come across that before. That was so odd. Oh, maybe there is stuff in those other ones then. I'll have to check that out. Hang on. Let's fill this first. We are going to get on to getting this done, and hopefully the seeding will work too. How bizarre. So I have got the Mazur. That is huge. And the attacher that goes with that, so we'll bring the larger tractor up. We'll grab that, we'll take that over to field 6, we'll get our seed in the ground, and then we'll apply our nitrogen. And that should be good to go then. Right, that's that done. Will it still pull it? Yeah, okay. Mineral fertiliser application. Turn that off. Fine, as long as the field's not too hilly, we should be okay. I'll tell you what, the little 445 is a plucky thing. Oh, there the silo had been refilled, so we're good. I managed to top up. This has pulled it okay so far, but then obviously we've then got to switch it on and get it to run. Field 3 is out the back of here. I think it's at the back of here. So I was hoping I can get both going at the same time. Like I said, this doesn't want to bullet, then that's not a problem. Oh no, we've got to go through this horrible muddy bit, haven't we? Can we skirt around it? Yeah, let's go around to the side. Let's create another mud hole around the side instead. do not want to get stuck in that. Field 3 is just on the corner here. Get that contract started. Hopefully this won't use too much. Weirdly, as I mentioned, it depends when you're watching this, but the precision farming has had another update today, apparently. But what I looked on the changelog and there was nothing showing on the new changelog. Or nothing showing as a new changelog, so I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the change was. What's been added, what's been altered. It was showing the previous two changelogs, but nothing was showing as new on this one. I don't know. And weirdly, the same with the game update with the RASSVET DLC that came out. That was showing there was an update 1.21 I think it was, or something on PlayStation. But when I clicked on the update details, it was only showing the previous one. So I don't know what it was updating. It'll probably just say minor bug fixes or something along those lines. So what it normally does. Now, as far as the building site goes, we do have some work that can be done there. Because of our link now with Wayland Yutani, Building Better Worlds, they are actually building new houses, accommodation. I don't think they're doing more shops. There's a load of shops up already. But they are requiring lumber, and they are going to be requiring sand deliveries, which some of the locals are kind of getting involved in. That's something I maybe could turn my hand to. Maybe supply them with a bit of lumber. There are loads of trees actually on the ground just laying around. I was wondering whether I could get a log trailer or something, just go around and collect them and just deliver the ones that are laying around. I don't know if you can do that. It's worth a try. But like I said, we do have a load of trees on our property that we could spend a bit of time cutting down if we wanted to. How is this going to fare with the little slope going up here? We'll see how we get on. The locals are also incredibly receptive to extra work. There's a few guys that are out of work. There's a few guys that are running their farms and are looking for work when they're not doing work on their own farms. So yeah, hiring workers shouldn't be an issue. And hopefully we'll get that money into our account some point soon. Just gives us a bit of a buffer. Okay, this really isn't going down as fast as I thought it was going to, so that's good. It's a pretty big field, and this is pulling it absolutely fine. I really wasn't sure, you know. See how we get on and get to the hill, though. It's not a steep hill, is it? It's okay. See how we go and return as well. But yeah, we're slowing a bit. Come on. Keep going. Keep going, plucky 445. Excellent. Right, we know that's working good. That can go off. This will carry on, so I can pick up a few fertilising jobs here and there. That'll be rather handy. Help bolster the finances. We need mowers next as well, so we can do our grass work. We're looking at that. So yeah, a whole load of stuff we need to do, and that's without we haven't even thought about or looked at animals of any description yet. We're so, you know, we're just getting going. Obviously, because I don't own this land, I'm doing a contract on it. That's why nothing was showing up on the mini-map for nitrogen levels or anything like that. I don't think anything can be showing up. Yeah, no values detected yet. Because there's no soil data and we don't own the field, so that'll be why. Right, I need to go and grab that seeder then. Let's give that seeder a go. I think I'm going to do canola then. I've kind of got my eye on, and we'll go and have a look at this as well, at planters. It's really difficult because there aren't that many old planters. There's loads of older seeders and a few things knocking around, but as far as planters go, I found these two rail ones. That's a 4.5 metre. Again, we could look at maybe getting a couple of those and a couple of small tractors, and then you've got yourself, 9 metres of planting capacity at any one time. So maybe moving further on, that might be something to look at. Someone did say to me straight away, get the Great Plains YP 4025. I don't have anything to pull it, and it doesn't really kind of fit the area or the map at the moment. Maybe if we get some bigger machinery or something else, we might look at something along those lines. I get that it does everything, but that's kind of not really where the Let's Play's heading at the moment anyway. I just want to hear it. Oh, no, it doesn't turn off. So I'll only turn off section control. It will only automatically do it if there's soil data. Right. I'll say that a lot. Right, and then I start talking again. I'm up at the store, I've grabbed the Mazur, the worker has finished. So I've got to get used to this tractor every single time. Yeah, the worker's finished on field 3, there's a contract on field 2, and it actually works out way better to let a worker do the work. Although you're paying the worker, so it's using money, you're using way less of the crop. Because with the precision farming, we have got the, right, collect on that, and let's go with fertilizing field 2. Accept that contract. Yeah, we got one of the RTK stations. RTK stations on the map around the area. It makes the workers more efficient with everything. So yeah, that worked out brilliantly. Yeah, lighter impulses required. Now I'm hoping this is going to work this time. So here at the construction site is where they've got one of these as well. So that's what we'll do. Do I need to open the cover? Yeah. 2,200 litres means it will last a little while. Yeah, I'm just thinking if we can bring stuff up here to the construction site, maybe we can get some things built. At least get them on the way. Again, start giving back, helping. That was what the plan always was. Just let's see if we can help. That's not in a great position, is it? Let's see if that'll work. If you're not really using it, use it. 98 for 2,200 litres of seed. Oh yes. Oh, this is going to be one of those fiddly ones for opening up, isn't it? Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, so while I'm seeding with this, my worker can be fertilising on field 2, then hopefully when the seeding's done on field 6, the fertiliser can then come over. So we'll get our seed in the ground, we've done our pH level, that's perfect. Can we get a perfect nitrogen level? The seed needs to be in first, then we go over with our nitrogen and we should hopefully get the nitrogen level. It was weird actually, when I was doing one of the fields, I don't know if you recall, was it the last episode, was it the one before? I went over the field and it was leaving bits, and I went back and said that it was really strange. I didn't know why it had done it. And I had people commenting saying, not that I was an idiot, but I it was obvious why, and that all I had to do was go back the other way. I've never had to do that. If I've been fertilising, you know, sometimes when you're cultivating it'll miss a bit if there's a bump in the ground or something like that. When you're fertilising, I've never had it miss bits of fertiliser or lime, and I had to go back the other direction to get it to spread properly. I've never had that happen before. Maybe I've just been lucky, maybe, but yeah, it was very weird. Oh, we have all the fun and games with this, haven't we? Should have brought the instruction manual with me. I think we'll maybe have to we'll have to open up an online copy. Shouldn't be too difficult, should it? He says, hoping. Right, so I've got another shopping list then. So more to add. Mowers, another harvester. I'm wondering, you know, as well, if we can get another trailer, whether or not we can trade in, swap, or just outright just replace our Ural. So rather than get one with a back on it, get a flatbed, or maybe a log version, or just get a log trailer. I mean, I suppose at the end of the day it would be easier just get a log trailer to go with that. But I was thinking that might be an option to do. Something worth considering, isn't it? Now I think I'm going to have to leave the bit to the side for this. Now what do I want to put in the ground? I'm going canola, I think. And then we'll do the harvest, and I think maybe next time we'll do sunflower and try it again. I don't know. I'm just very curious to see. So, unfold soil. Oh, is that it? Yeah. It didn't require any more than that. What we'll do is leave that little bit there, not in the bushes because I won't be able to find it. We'll go back to it. Let's get our seeding done. £21 for a 6 metre. There is the John Deere 6 metre one. I did look at that. I have used it before. 6 metres wide, 6,000 to buy, but I just thought this one would fit a bit better, personally speaking. Right, we need to open that. That on. Drop that down. Now we shouldn't necessarily get anything come up while we're seeding because that's not variable rate or anything. That should just be normal. Now obviously without having GPS, what we could do with this if we wanted to, because I haven't really done it for a while, I'm trying to think what I did it on last. Did I do it on the 6 ashes early on? I might have done. Let's close that. But if I do ridge marker, no, that one. That doesn't seem far enough out to me. There's no way, that overlaps way too much. That ridge marker is not far enough out. Because what should happen is the centre of my bonnet there, when I come back around on the next pass, I line up the centre of my bonnet on the marker, the ridge marker. Now from there to there is not the same distance as there to there. There's no way that's the same distance. Is it? That doesn't look like it. I think we're going to be overlapping quite a bit. Well, we'll try it. So without GPS, the ridge marker is what you would be using. Again, you might be new to the game, you might not have used them before, you might not know what a ridge marker's for, but it does. Don't use them very often, I just normally do it by eye. But obviously if you're in cab and you're sowing, you don't have GPS to look at. So your first pass round, hopefully you're going to be lined up on the side there. Then your second pass, you just line up your bonnet on the ridge marker and away you go. In theory. I generally try and line up part of my tractor. Again, if you've been watching my channel before, you'll know that. I try and get it so I'm right on the edge and I try and line up something. For me at the moment, I think it's the corner of that indicator just down there. If I line that up with the side, I should be about right. and not miss any. So I should. It's not always that straightforward, is it? Line up that indicator. I follow that edge just for the first strip. And then look behind me. We shouldn't be missing any. We're right on the edge. I think we're right, aren't we? Excellent. Right, let's get that off. No, that off. Oh, I don't know, you know. We're not far off over. No, I don't. What is that over here? Oh, it's just some rubbish. Just people who've been dumping stuff. Okay, right. So what should happen now is, on my second pass round, I follow the line left by the ridge marker, the centre of my bonnet. Now it's interesting because this tractor you sit to the side. Most modern tractors and newer tractors you sit in the centre, so you can see the centre line no problem at all. My only concern, as I was saying, is if I'm following that centre line, look at my overlap. It's seeding to there. So I'm overlapping by all of that. That's too much. I don't... Hang on a minute. Hang on. You know what suddenly dawned on me? I suddenly thought, hang on a minute. Is there an option to extend these out? That could be why. Because they only look like they extend halfway. I can't find a setting. I can't. Yeah, I can't find anything. I'm looking at my menus. Fold sower does a sower, lower turn off sower, ridge marker, just adjust them up, left one, right one, back up again. Open cover opens the cover. L1, R1, I've got that option, but I can't work out what that does. L1, R1 and right stick up and down does something, but it's not doing anything to the ridge markers. R1, stop engine, unload, honk. It's going to be something really obvious, isn't it? So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to avoid the ridge markers. I'm going to do it myself. What I'm going to do is go across there to give myself a straight line, then I've got to continue to go around that ridge. If I go like that, the line's off by quite a way, isn't it? There's going to be a setting, isn't there, for this seeder. The annoying thing is I've looked at quite a few, and then looking at quite a few over the last, well, however long. I know there was one where there was a setting for that. That's what suddenly made me think, oh, hang on a minute, but I can't find it. Oh well. We're getting the job done anyway, that's the main thing. I was trying to do the whole kind of, yeah, old school ridge markers rather than GPS. But it was not to be, I'll just have to do it by eye. Right, let's get that back off. So my next query then is just how much nitrogen are we going to put down? And will I get perfect across the field? Fingers crossed. Help appears to complete their task. Oh, that was quick. Let's just check. No, 53% complete. I wouldn't say that is a complete task. Right. Then maybe I need to go and see if there's a worker available to have a go on this, and I'll go and check that out. That's my next step. That's fairly straight along there, isn't it? So what we'll do is line it up. Have a bit of overlap just to make sure. Okay, right. there is a problem I've encountered. Again, precision farming related, I've never come across it before. Is that at the moment, if I've got that map open, bottom left, I'm good. Because it's showing me where I've been. And if I open it one more, you lose that. So it has to be small. And it does have to reset, it takes a minute. There we go. So every time you check it, you can see where you've been. The problem is, what I normally do is I'll check on the map here. Now on the regular map, over to the right where it says soil composition, where it would normally say fertilising, it says see precision farming. If I go across one to precision farming, I've got my pH level, I've got my nitrogen level, but it will only show me those things if I've got soil samples on that field and if I own it. So for contract work, that's a lot harder to do, because you can't get a full overview of the field. If you get to a point where it says you're like 98% complete and you can't work out what you've missed, normally I would come to this map, check the overview, or this map, check the overview, and you can see the gaps you've missed, but it's not showing it on that map. If I come back out, it's showing it on the bottom map, which is fine, but that doesn't give you a full map overview, and if I scale out, you don't get anything. So yeah, it's a small thing, but again, it's funny how you get used to doing something a certain way and you kind of fall back on it, you rely on it because that's how you normally do it, that's how you always check it, that's what you do. But then all of a sudden that's gone, you suddenly stop and think, oh, okay. I love the fact we've got this kind of live feed update on the map bottom left. I think that's brilliant. I love that as a feature. I think that's great. It's interesting also, I showed you that little clip earlier when I said about how when I came off of it, the section control doesn't work unless you've got soil samples on the field. It does, because as you can see now with the worker going, and when I was doing it, if you come off the end onto a bit you've already fertilised, it does switch off. So my question is, why is that not a standard feature in game? I think I've mentioned it before. Why is that not a standard game feature? It's funny, isn't it? Because normally the seeders will, if you go over a bit you've seeded before, it won't put more seed down, but the fertiliser does. Fertiliser, lime, digestate always does. But with precision farming on, it doesn't. It switches it off, which is great. So why, if it can be done, why is that not on the regular game? Just curious. Right, so we should be done by now, surely. Completed, there we go. So what I'm going to do now, I'm actually going to take on a sowing contract, believe it or not, because I've got my seeder, 6 metres. That sowing contract pays out 22 grand. It's going to take me a while, but you know what? I don't mind. I'm going to take this now. We're going to get over to our field. At field 6. The worker should still be going backwards and forwards. Putting our canola in. So now we'll see. Are we going to get perfect nitrogen? Need to keep my eye out. Local markets, local area. Speak to the guys at Farm Club and see if there are any other small tractors knocking about. Some Zetors. What's that one? My mind's gone blank. Oh, I'm having one of those days. No. It will come to me in a minute. Oops. I'm so busy thinking. Thinking out loud. Probably time to check a sheet of paper, I would imagine. Oh man, what is it? Ursus! Ooh, Ursus! Yeah, there's some crystals, some Ursus. See if we've got something else about. I mean, I don't think we're going to get another 445. I do like this. But I think maybe something like an Ursus might be a good idea. For doing jobs like this, it's absolutely brilliant. This is working really, really well. So yeah, from here then, let's see if we can get our perfect nitrogen. If we can, what I will do then is finish off that field. I'll take the seeder refill it. We'll go and I'll take on the contract. That'll be done off screen, and then hopefully by sometime maybe late this afternoon we should have our finances from Feld Corp. Gives us a few options then looking forward for mowers. We do need to find an old loading wagon. There used to be the old, was it FS19? The old Mengele? There was an old Mengele one, wasn't there? I loved that. It was a bit clunky and clanky, but it worked brilliantly. Now I know the seeding is still continuing, but that's not a problem. I'm going to go up onto the top section that's already been done. Our nitrogen level is in the red. Our pH level is perfect. And what that should then give us is a bit better yield data as well, shouldn't it? Let's see what difference this makes, shall we? Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Bit Marvin Gaye there. Let's get it on. No. Maybe that should be the thumbnail. Okay, we're going from red to green. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Keep it nice and neat. That's what I like to see. Oh, this is brilliant. I'm still kind of almost, you know, blown away is the wrong word. I'm because I was kind of reluctant. And I know I've mentioned it before, but I like what it adds, what it offers. Just the map down the bottom left, it just makes a massive difference. It just feels more, you know, it's better, it's interactive, it's, you know, you feel like you're proper farming kind of thing. It's weird, isn't it, how something, I say fairly simple, it's not that simple, but can seem to make that much difference. Let's stop there a second. So what I need to do now, pH value perfect, nitrogen perfect. So yeah, there's no need for doing manure first, other than to reduce your costs for buying chemical fertilizers, that kind of stuff. But that said, if you can get your fertilizer in whatever guise you're using it cheap, one application is all it needs. You know, the whole kind of concept of doing slurry manure first, ploughing that in, liming or doing the lime first, then seeding, then doing another go over with lime or fertilizer. You don't need to. I mean, it is eating through it fairly quickly, but that's probably why, isn't it? I mean, at the end of the day, that is it. It's just to keep that cost down. You don't want to be, and I know, like, watching Zach Johnson, the Millennial Farmer, and on How Farms Work and Welker, and the guys are always saying they don't want to be putting loads of chemical fertilizer down. It's expensive. It's not a cheap thing to do. They don't. You know, people complain about washing into the water systems and water courses, and that farmers are over applying all the time. And like I said, they don't want to over apply. They want to put on the bare minimum they absolutely can, because it's expensive. You don't want to be wasting it. You don't want to be buying more than you need. So I guess that's the thing, isn't it? There are manure piles around, but I have to own the land, I think, to be able to have access to them. So I think what I'll do the next time round is probably we'll do a manure layer then we'll lime, or if we don't need to lime we won't, or whatever application we need to do. Then we'll seed, then we'll do chemical, and hopefully what we'll need for chemical will be way less. In theory. So, with that, we have made another step forward. I've missed a load. We have made another step forward in our precision farming. We've made a step forward. We've now got a new seeder. So we have now seeded, applied nitrogen. We've got perfect levels of both. All is good in the world. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.